HustleMan Show Episode 2. I'm Kareem Robinson. My friends call me Reem. Dude, this is my chapter 3 right now. So I started off real estate. I was wholesaling my chapter 1. I was like, dude, I need to get my money up. I need to understand real estate. So like we were talking about, I put the reps in. So I'm banging out cold calls. Boom, I'm wholesaling. I'm wholesaling to this day. It's a great strategy for sure. Chapter 1 is wholesaling. Chapter 2 for me is interesting strategy called slow flips. You get the cash flow without the headaches of being a landlord. We could talk a lot more on that. Definitely recommend that for anyone that's kind of brand new, honestly. Chapter 3 for me, I'm becoming a landlord, taking down doors. Well, we have like 9 units under contract right now. Take down, rehab, put affordable housing in place. That's wealth, man, holding on to real estate. I always knew that. I was always told this from some mentors above me when I first started off. Like, Kareem, like, making your money short term is great, but you might regret that. Like, you need to start taking these down, holding on to these. Even Mo spoke about this. So I know it's important right now to transition into that next chapter. But that's a quick background about me. I got my man, my bro Mo over here.
I appreciate that intro, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mohammed with you here. I'm happy to be here for episode 2. I want to get right into it, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so what were we talking about?
Jump right into it.
We were talking about like risk and like jumping into real estate, also like partnership dynamics.
Yeah, relationship dynamics and partnerships.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. So what did we talk? We talked about relationship dynamics and partnerships.
What's a big relationship is, let's talk about marriage and investing.
So
that dichotomy
so
of the two.
Real quick, before we transition into marriage,
Okay.
let's talk about relationships in business.
I like that.
Let's hit that again. So criteria. You can't be surrounding yourself with no cowards, bro.
It's not gonna work.
It's not gonna work, man. It's not gonna work. And you also have to set the standard that I'm in business with you. I'm not in business with your girl.
Right.
I'm not in business with whoever the fuck is behind you.
Your friend, your brother.
I'm not. I'm in business with you. I'm not trying to have no conversation with no third party. It's an A-B relationship. That's it. Mm-hmm. And you need to, when you make that clear, it becomes crystal clear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All due respect to whatever relationships you have, that's not who I got into business with. You understand that?
So you could have a partnership, right? And like, oh yeah, let's make money. It sounds great, but ultimately they can't make decisions on their own. They have to confer or converse with other people, and that's how you introduce problems.
They don't have to.
But that can happen though.
They choose.
That's the part
they don't
you have to
They
eliminate.
choose to.
Yeah.
So the more inexperienced somebody is, the more that they feel that they need validation from the people around them.
Right.
So like
the people they grew up with, their parents.
Let's say
that could be examples.
Absolutely. So let's say you're a young kid and you're getting into business.
Right.
People want to protect you. People around you want to protect you. This is natural. Mm-hmm. Right or wrong?
So, yes.
But if they don't know what you're doing, and if you're not conveying to them what it is that's going on, you're not providing all the information.
Right.
So all they're doing is they're making decisions on behalf of what they think, what their perception of the situation is.
And a lot of times their perception is like, oh, that's dangerous, don't do it. Why would you buy that house? It needs a bunch of work. It needs a new roof. Why would you do that?
If you're getting advice from a risk-averse person, if that person, okay, let's say it this way.
I like where it's going.
Let's say I wanted dental advice. Would I go to an accountant?
Definitely not.
Let's say I wanted biological advice, like medical advice. Would I go to a contractor?
Nope.
Let's say I wanted advice on life. Would I go to a priest, an imam? Or would I go to the guy who owns the deli or the bodega?
Right.
You're making decisions based on information that's being given to you by somebody that may or may not be qualified.
That's so true.
You're making a decision about the course of your life with information that you may not have given them. And they may not be qualified to give you an answer.
Even if you did get all the proper information,
they don't have the qualifications.
They don't have the skill set.
They are not qualified
to dissect it.
A dentist cannot tell me how to move in business.
Yeah.
They don't know.
Yeah.
And I cannot tell a dentist how they should treat your oral situation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I cannot tell a doctor how to prescribe medication.
For the record, guys, this is a very logical show, so buckle in.
Yeah.
Based off of logic.
If you don't like logic, this is the wrong show for you. If you're driven by your emotions, respect to everybody watching. I respect you. This is the wrong show for you. If you don't like honesty, please don't watch this show. If you don't like business advice that makes sense, please don't watch the show. If you're thin-skinned, don't watch the show. If you're worried about gender roles on bathrooms, I'm not your guy. I'm not your guy.
I don't make money thinking about that.
Yeah. So to step back to the relationship thing, a relationship, we're talking about the main relationships in your life are going to be your business partnerships, your marital partnerships.
Yeah.
That's a huge one. That's like a whole different bucket that we're going to unpack in a second. And then you're talking, we just recapped on the business side of it.
Yeah.
Just make sure you're asking your advice from the right people.
Yeah.
They may love you. They may want the best for you. My question to you is, are they qualified?
Right. When I got into wholesaling, I knew I was walking a different path than any of my family. Yeah,
A lot of people.
Family and friends. And it's nothing against them by any means, but I knew it had to be a path to walk alone. I had to lean into the community, like, you know, the courses that I purchased to learn about wholesaling real estate. Like, it's something new. It's brand new. Like, why would I go to someone else that it just didn't make sense, if that makes sense.
You love them, and you there's people in your life that you're going to love and you respect. And what I'm saying is not that you should not listen to what they have to say. I'm saying that you should deduce and think and make a decision based on whether somebody's qualified to give you accurate and correct information or not.
Right. On how to move forward in
If
business.
not, be polite, be respectful, but be mindful. You understand? And if you're not mindful, you're going to lose.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody.
That's why I love business too, bro. It's no favoritism. You're either good at what you do or you're not.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's
You either win or you lose.
It's a zero-sum game, and the lines are clear.
Yeah.
And it makes it less complex.
No such thing as participation trophies by any means. Though you can grind your face off 10 hours a day doing the wrong shit and lose.
Absolutely.
Bro, like I put in all these hours.
Who cares? Who cares?
The market doesn't care. It's not going to pay you
gives a
for it.
shit.
It's no such thing as participation trophy. Even when you do it right. So say we have a closing, for example. Plenty of times, you bring in the seller is ready to sell.
This video is sponsored by swagtex.com. If you have promotional needs, if you're running a business, if you're a realtor, if you're a contractor, if you're anybody that cares about your brand, if you're trying to build your brand, I need you to contact swagtex.com. Swagtex is a branding and promotional products company that brings a level of understanding about brand building that you would be surprised by. These guys really, really are intimate. They're intimately knowledgeable about perception of brand. And they have a background of building brands. So again, that website is swagtex.com. Ask for David, tell him Mo sent you.
So what I was saying, you can grind your face off for hours, but you can still be wrong in the market and not make money. You can even be right. You could bring a wholesale deal in, the seller's ready to sell, the buyer's ready to buy. Boom, title issue, IRS liens. Kills the deal.
Yeah.
The business is unforgiving. That's
real
good and bad.
In real estate, that's the case. It's unforgiving because you either make it or you don't make it. But the rest of it is the same thing.
Yeah.
There's no participation trophies.
At all.
You could put hundreds of hours into the work and be wrong about how you did stuff. That's also true. And those are lessons that you have to learn.
That's where you have to keep your emotions in check, though. You have to.
regulate, yeah.
You got to be neutral, bro.
Yeah.
You can't be too high on the highs,
Or
on the
low.
wins, or too
Yeah.
low on the lows.
Yeah.
Right in between, you have to coast.
So that
I had to learn that personally through experience.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'll give you a prime example, bro. Like, this is crazy. My first wholesale deal that I made my check with is 11 grand.
Mm-hmm.
So most amount of money I made at one time. That same week, bro, I lost my aunt to a car accident. So I had an extreme high and extreme low at this very same time. I had to be in the neutral, bro.
How did you regulate that? How old are you?
27 now. I was 25 at the time.
Yeah, so I started buying my first properties when I was your age. I got married when I was your age. Right. I started buying my first property like right before your age, like a couple years before you. How did you regulate like the lows? Because you didn't really have anybody in your, like it was just you really, and you didn't have any. Yeah, you didn't really. Well, you had some mentors, I think.
Yeah.
You had some mentors, right? But you didn't really you didn't really have a group of people around you on a
On the same mission.
on the same mission.
Right.
So where did that come from? How did you regulate that?
I mean, shout out to my wife, bro. Like, she's been there since day one of
Yeah.
me starting the business. So,
Yeah.
of course, I was able to, like, hash out, talk about it.
Yeah.
Right?
You would have a conversation with her about what's going on?
Just, you know, because it's family dynamics, bro. Like, a funeral is never fun. Like, it's very sad. Like, my cousins, they lost their mother. It's very low, bro. It's tough. And there's an aunt that, you know, I had a good relationship with. It's the first time I lost somebody that close.
Yeah.
Like, you know, losing great grandfathers and grandparents, that's one thing in all respect to it. But, you know, the closer they are, bro, especially it's unexpected, like a car accident.
Yeah, the loss of any family member is tough, but like the closer you are, obviously.
For sure. So that was just time, like, so I'm honestly to this day still understanding that whole grieving process of it too. Because when it first happens, it's like, it doesn't hit as hard, but like, I don't know, certain moments just kind of, memory just lapses through, like when I'm driving past the burial grounds and things like that. So again, that was like a low and a high at the same time. To get through it, man, I just knew I was on the right mission to improving my life. I was like, I just focus on improvement, whether it's physical, financial, spiritual, all of it. So
speak on that, right? So like, let's segue out of like business relationships. I think we have an understanding, a little bit better of an understanding of what what criteria, what values, you know what I mean? Getting into a business relationship, you got to know who you're dealing with.
So
Personality wise, you got to know who you're dealing with. Knowing when to take your foot off the gas, knowing when to put your foot on the gas,
right.
Knowing when to trust the other person. It's a long-term relationship.
And before we segue, bro, like you're my first business partner, period.
Yeah.
How many have you had in your past? I know you've had a lot.
Partners?
Yeah.
Nah, I haven't.
No.
Partners?
Partners.
Nah. I have people that I've worked with,
right.
but not partners.
Gotcha.
Nah, not that many.
Because that's like marriage in terms of business.
Absolutely. Yeah, you tied to that person for long term.
Share bank accounts, all that.
I mean, there's a lot to it, bro. So you got to make sure that you're not wasting your time.
Right.
So, like real partners, business partners, I could say other one before Phil, and then Phil,
Wow.
and then we're partners on everything that we do.
Right.
So,
and we quote unquote dated by doing deals together, like and like, yo, this is bank, like we're making money together.
Yeah, we got an opportunity to really get to know each other and see if our values lined up.
We've been tested.
And then you see how that goes, and then you make decisions based on that.
Right.
But business relationships in real estate's easier.
Okay.
Like for example, when you're doing business with somebody in a retail setting, it's a whole different game.
Because you're like front loading product, you're
It's
ordering
inventory
this,
involved,
you're building or websites, all sorts of.
It's a whole different ball of wax. In real estate, it's simpler. There's an asset, you enter the asset, and you decide whether to exit the asset.
Right.
And
like 30 days or less, pretty much.
There's a beginning and an end.
Mm-hmm.
And the beginning and the ends are defined. And you decide whether you want to move in that direction, moving after that. I have I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to go too far into it, but I have currently relationships that are not going to work. Like it's just not going to work.
In terms of real estate?
In terms of real estate, yes.
You understand because you've done like one deal or a couple deals and.
Yeah, it's not going to work because they have the wrong expectations, the wrong mentality.
Right.
And then for me, I'm not interested in wasting time. I'm not interested in pouring into people that are not worth the time.
For sure.
So like if I feel that it's not worth the time, it's not gonna be a negative situation. I'm just not gonna pour into it.
Time is valuable, bro.
You know what I'm
That's all
saying?
we got. Yeah.
So
for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you were segueing out of business to more
To
personal
marriage.
relationships, right?
Yeah. To personal, to your significant other. It doesn't even have to be marriage.
Right.
It'd be a girlfriend. When you're
Anyone you're serious about.
when you're getting into business, right? Whether it's business or real estate or whatever it is, again, the person that advises you should be authorized, should be qualified to advise you.
Okay.
If they're not qualified, they're the wrong person to advise.
Qualified for business in this case, right?
Bro, you're not gonna ask a dentist for business advice.
Point blank period.
It's not the move for you. But they care about you, and you will continue to listen to what they have to say, respect their opinion.
It's not easy, bro.
It's not easy.
not easy.
But then the other aspect of it is, if you're moving in a direction in your like put the business partnership aside for a second,
Right.
and let's segue into marriage. A marriage is like being on a boat with somebody.
Yeah.
It's like being on a rowboat with somebody.
I was about to say, we're talking like yachts where you have all your amenities.
No, ain't no yacht.
Where you got to figure it out by yourself.
You're on a yacht with her. It's a different conversation.
vacation.
Yeah, if you have a yacht, you're not worried about who's rowing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When you're in the beginning stages of a business, you have to row.
Boom.
You have
get
to.
it off the ground.
You have to row.
You have to get off the ground.
Now, if she wants to row, phenomenal. But she has to row in the same direction as you.
Yeah.
If you have two people on a rowboat and they're rowing in opposite directions, where's that rowboat going?
Yeah, you're spending energy to go nowhere.
You're not going anywhere. You're wasting your time and her time. She may not even want to row. Actually, she may not want to row. It may be a win for you. Because you can row, at least you'll work harder, but you may or may not get to your destination.
Right.
Because you got more weight on the boat.
Right.
Now, if she's rowing in a different direction, it's even worse.
Yeah, nah.
Okay?
It's not gonna work.
Now, before you put her on the rowboat, you have to decide whether or not, I would decide. A lot of people don't decide. When you're young, you don't make decisions correctly.
Yeah.
A lot of young people don't make decisions correctly. It happens to a lot of smart people. How many times has Elon been divorced? How long?
You don't
right?
know?
3 times.
3 times.
Yeah.
Right? How many times has Bezos been divorced?
Only once.
These guys are considered billionaires. They're considered like top of the top in their industries.
And divorce is considered failure. Would you say? Or would you say it's a correction?
Listen, man, people have different values in their life.
Yeah.
You can't, I want to go one way. You know what I'm saying? If you're married to somebody and they don't want to go in the same direction as you, it's asinine to keep pressing them.
Right.
If they don't want to learn and they're telling you straight up, yo, I don't want to go where you're going, you don't got to throw them in the water.
That's a great piece of advice.
But you don't have to make
Cordially, yeah,
but you can you can show them where the coast is.
Right.
You can stop, let them off.
Right.
Let them off at on land.
Right.
Give them what they need, but make sure that you get yourself out of that situation. And also, they may be just as frustrated as you are.
For sure.
Okay.
No light without the dark.
Yo, there's an affirmation that I see a lot of times, right? When I'm doing inspections, I see this affirmation and I get nervous. On the wall.
Really?
Oh yeah. Live, love, laugh.
Oh, we.
Yo. live, love, laugh is a scary one, bro. Live, love, laugh, they're usually losing the house.
Wow.
Listen to me now.
Please break it down.
Oh
I'm
my
so
God.
curious.
With pleasure. Live, love, laugh is scary. What live, love, laugh is I want to live my life. Do not make me do shit that I don't want to do. How the fuck you gonna expect her to row on a boat with you?
Put in the work.
She doesn't want to, bro. She doesn't want to. She wants to live, love, laugh. And this is not just a she thing. Sometimes she's the one rowing.
Yep.
And she got herself a fucking situation.
Love, laugh.
She got a live, love, laugh guy.
Yeah.
And the live, love, laugh guy is like just a dead weight.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's crazy to me that women would ever choose. Like, women are the bringers of life.
Wow.
They bring life into this world. Like, why would you want to connect yourself to a man that's a certified loser?
That can't provide. Though.
Like, I don't even understand that part. You know, that's something at a whole different level of, you know what I'm saying? And they are the gateway to life. Men cannot bring life into this world, despite what they were trying to convince us. Men cannot bring life into this world.
Period.
Despite what they're trying to convince us. Women bring life into this world. And how do you bring life into this world and then choose a man to bring a second version of him into this world that's a certified loser?
Why would a woman want that on a biological standpoint?
You know, you're asking.
Women know that.
You're asking a $1 million question.
Yeah.
Okay? Irrespective of that, whether they choose that or not, I think the beginning of who you put in your rowboat is incredibly important. Now, If you don't even know to have that conversation, you don't understand that value of conversing with that person and saying, look, I'm going on this boat. I'm taking this journey. I'm going somewhere. I need to go somewhere quickly.
Yeah.
If you don't want to go somewhere, it's going to be hard.
Yeah.
That water is cold.
Yeah.
You understand? We could drown along the way.
It's rough road.
We could expire. Do you want to go on this road? Yes. What are you going to do to support our journey? How are you going to get us on this journey that way we can get there? Nah, I don't want to do that. I want to live, love, life. Okay, no problem. Maybe she's a date, but she ain't no marriage material. Not if you want to do something real. Listen.
It don't get more real than this, bro.
It doesn't. I think it's super important. You know, I would advise any young man that's looking to get married, that's looking to make a real relationship, start a family, start a life. The person who you choose to bring into your life, to bring kids into this world, they need to be on the same mental path. If they are not in the same mental path, excuse yourself early.
Let me add something too. This business shit, bro, this is not a hobby. This is real life. Real risks, real repercussions, real gain. That's why we do it. But this ain't no hobby, bro. It's not like, hey, I want to learn how to skateboard.
This ain't a video game, man.
Like, hey, you want to record me skateboarding?
Did you hear what I just said?
I hear you.
This ain't a video game.
I'm a big gamer too.
Yeah, but this ain't the video game where you
get multiple
where you
lives.
Respawn. Ain't no fucking respawns, man.
This is that Call of Duty search and destroy, bro.
You finished.
You out.
You're expired.
Right.
And there's no resetting the game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I understand that a lot of people out there are convincing people that, you know, loss is part of the game. Yes, I understand all that. Yeah. But there's something called you finished. You know? Like you are certified finished. And there's something called you made a mistake, you're going to learn from it, you're going to keep going. Those are two different things. Super important. I want to reiterate how important it is to choose the right person to get on your boat. You need to figure out what their values are. Make a list. You know, just do, like, you can underwrite a house, but you can't underwrite a female.
Right.
Females, you can underwrite a house, but you can't underwrite a male. How?
Right.
Underwrite his ass.
Make a T-chart. T-charts are great.
Bravo. Underwrite him. This person is live, love, laugh. X. This person is, you know, they need to be out on Friday night, Saturday night every week. X. This person has to go on vacation 2.5 times a year. X. This person doesn't want to have children. X. This person doesn't feel that a career or goals, life goals are important. X. This person, you know what I'm saying? Make a list of things that you feel are important to you. If you know you're going to be fighting a war, wouldn't you make a list of necessities that you need? I need food, I need weapons, I need this, I need that. If you were buying a house, you would make a list of all the things that need to be. But when you get into a relationship with somebody, there's no list and there's no contract. There's no contract that holds them accountable. Mm-hmm. But if there's a divorce, I want half.
Crazy.
How the fuck does that make any sense? That doesn't even make any sense. You show up to the marriage with a fucking plastic bag and you're talking about half? Half of what?
Right. Half of whatever you build in the future.
Half of what?
Yeah.
This is insanity. So instead of looking at a situation in that lens, choose the right partner for you, bro.
Boom.
Yeah, just choose a person that understands where you're headed, is malleable. Malleable. Phil, am I saying that right? You're better with words than I am.
Yes, 100%.
Malleable. Okay? You can work with her. Even she doesn't understand business. She's flexible.
There's a give and take.
There's a give and take.
Yeah.
She wants to learn. It's not, no, you were criticizing me. No. Live, love, laugh. That's not it.
When you're rigid, you shatter.
There's nothing to do, bro.
You shatter easier.
Exit.
Like a glass shatters, but
My friend,
pot.
show them the exit off the rowboat quickly.
Expedited.
Yes. Abort. Mission aborted.
Yeah. 100%.
Finish the story quickly.
That's it, bro.
The faster the better.
Because time is finite, bro.
Yeah.
Time is so finite.
And you're making yourself miserable, you're making them miserable. God forbid there's kids involved.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just make it super clear.
Yeah.
How
many kids you have?
A lot.
Yeah. You have
4.
Cuatro.
Cuatro. All under the age of 12.
Right. Yeah. So you're married with 40 kids. You're qualified. You have multiple businesses.
Yeah.
You lived it, bro.
Yeah, it's a lot of stress to do all that.
For sure.
And some people are built for that stress, some people are not. And you're putting them in a situation where they don't want to be.
Right.
So you have to make a decision. Sometimes you have to make the decision for them. And you have to push them into a place where they need to make a decision. Row or get off the boat.
Right. Do they ever come, like, do they ask, like, hey, I'm not sure how to proceed from here. I want to be with you. I don't know how to do this. Then that's when you lay it out.
That's malleable to me.
Right.
You can work with that.
For sure.
But if they tell you, no, I ain't doing that.
That's a struggle. You have an internal struggle while you're going at war. So you have at war an external struggle. And you have an interior struggle. How that's going to work.
Relationships are different. You can't just, they're not, it's not a manager or an employee. You can't just fire them. You know, there's an unwinding period. Yeah, it takes time out of your, it takes time out of your life to adjust that mistake.
Right.
But honestly, it's the quicker the better.
Right.
You know, for you, for them, for everybody involved. Now, this is for men and women.
Yeah.
Some women are, I've met women that are dragons, man.
Crushing it.
They're tiger moms. Their kids top of the class. They own businesses. They take care of their family.
Everything's
They're superstars, man. Yeah. I'm not just talking about men. Some men are.
I feel like most men are fucking around. Oh, babe, 2K's about to come out, babe.
Nah.
Oh, I'm trying to be a streamer. No offense to nobody, bro, but like, dog.
But women have something that men don't have, and I want to stress the importance. Women are able to bring life into this world. Right. God has gifted them with that ability. Do not bring a loser into this world. Bring a winner into this world. And if your ingredients is loser ingredients, what are you expecting?
Right.
Like, what's your expectation exactly? Where's the lie in that?
A concern of mine, right? And like, obviously women are more, I guess, in tune with their emotions, or I'm not sure how to exactly structure that, but I feel like sometimes a woman doesn't look at it like, hey, I want to have a successful son. They look at it like, hey, I want my son to be happy, taken care of, which are important. But I feel like the man drives the success, drives to deliver, execute. Would you say that?
She don't have to be on the front line fighting with the guns and the weapons. You don't have to be on the front line.
Right.
But if your back end is not taken care of, if your home is not taken care of, if there's no peace at home, if you come home and you don't have peace, you can't effectively fight.
That's so true.
So it's super important that you choose a person that understands what that means.
Create a peaceful environment for that child.
If you don't have peace at home, you can't be out here.
Shit,
yeah, you can't be fighting a war outside all day and coming home to a war.
You coming home tired and shit fucked up at home.
You can't do it.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
For sure. I want to touch on that too, because like from my own perspective, I got married at what, like 3 years now.
Yeah.
So like 24. I think it was like 24, 23 or something like that.
Yeah.
And bro, like I got married, and at 25 I started my business.
Yeah.
And like.
So you started your business after you got married?
After I got married.
Yeah.
Right. So I had more time, much more free time before business. That's just naturally how it goes.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, like, okay, great. Like we have a great marriage, you have a great relationship, great dynamics. Once I started spending more time on the business, you know, not to go too crazy deep into it, but like I want to give advice to like younger men too, because this is my own experience. Because like me and my wife, to this day, we're still figuring out how to give and take, right? That's very important. But bro, like if you feel like you should go gung ho and like try to get married younger, like that's really not the move. If you really want to build something significant, you still there's a lot of learning you have to do for yourself and building that business.
Man,
make your money, bro. Make your money first.
Yeah.
Then create that.
Absolutely. And just to add to that for a second.
And real quick, that's no regret to what I have going on. Like I'm figuring this out, but that's just my pure advice to people my age.
Understood.
For sure.
Understood.
Yeah.
Before you make that decision in your life, just figure out whether or not you're going, where you're going, and understand whether or not that person's going to go there with you,
right,
or they're going to be problematic in the journey. And if they're going to be problematic in the journey, it would behoove you to remove that situation quickly. That's for a female or a male. Right. That's for a woman or a man.
So something with me, I wasn't sure where I was going before business.
Yeah.
So
you didn't even know how to ask the questions.
I just knew I wasn't happy with the standard route, 9 to 5 life, pay your taxes, die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 401k crap.
Yeah.
So I know to me it's very important to know where you're going. And it takes time, I guess, to mature to know that. Some people know it at super young age, at 20, 21, but it's rare though.
You can underwrite it after the purchase.
Wow.
To underwrite it after the purchase.
And for people that might not be business sense, what does underwrite mean?
When you underwrite a deal, you know what the mechanics of the deal is. You know what the numbers of the deal is. You ever hear somebody say you changed? What does that mean?
That's a big one.
If you're 20 something years old and your 20-year-old version of you and your 40-year-old version of you is not the same. If you're still the same person at 40 as you were at 20 something,
You failed, bro.
what the fuck does that mean?
You fucking failed.
Of course you're supposed
After
to change.
20 some years and you still the same person?
That's a mistake. There's something
Problem,
wrong, bro. So you can underwrite the deal after the fact and recognize whether or not this person. It's harder. It's harder that way for sure because if you realize this is a losing situation, it becomes incredibly harder to deal with it. The best thing to do is to save yourself the trouble and save that person the trouble. Let them find their happiness, and then you find your happiness. And if you know who you are, the problem is sometimes you don't know who you are at a young age. I think that's a big deal.
You know you're talking right to me right now, bro.
Yeah,
100%.
I'm talking to a lot of people.
Yeah.
I'm also talking to, older version of me.
Yeah, great.
Like you gotta take some time, man.
For sure.
And understand who you are. Understand what the person that you need is for you. Some people are so desperate for love that they choose the person based on how they feel.
Desperate for love or also scared of loneliness.
Both.
Yeah.
You can have both.
Right.
You can be in both of a situation at the same time.
Yeah.
And then you end up choosing a person that does not work well for you in your life.
Yeah, and you see people writing it off like, oh, like XXX don't check off, but at least I have somebody. Like that's not healthy though. That's not long term.
Again, you 100% can work with a person in a marriage, after a marriage. You can work with anybody if they're willing to be flexible and learn.
Right.
If they put up a wall, then you have to make a decision about, you're not going to put your head through a wall, bro. It's not going to do anything for you or for them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And one of the things that you're going to hear from a person that's put up a wall is the term work-life balance.
Big. Let's talk about it.
Work-life balance.
So as a business owner, investor, does work-life balance exist?
Work-life balance?
Right.
Yo, man, you're asking the wrong person for that one. I don't subscribe to that kind of thinking.
Yeah.
I think in life you're all in.
Have you always thought that?
I've always been like this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've always been like this. I've been more intense and less intense at times, but I've always known where I was gonna go. I've always known where I was gonna go. There's no question about that.
Right.
In my 20s, I always wanted to do this.
Right.
It's documented. It's well documented. I've been in business for over 20 years. Anybody that knows me knows I've been in and out of businesses my whole life. So there's no, I know who I am.
Right.
You know what I mean? I didn't have that problem.
So the reason you wake up early every day, you get after it, no excuses, because you know where you want to be in life.
I don't have no clock in, no clock out. I work my ass off and that's it.
Period.
Yeah, I need to get something done. I get it done.
It's in you.
Yeah, I don't subscribe to work-life balance. I don't subscribe to retirement, the term retire. Can you look up what the word retirement means, please? Look up what the word retirement means. What an interesting term to use for human beings. You will work 40 years of your life and then you will retire or expire. Interesting, huh?
This is it's a good point. So
which one is it? Is it retire or expire? The second one, yeah?
Retirement, the action or fact of leaving one's job or ceasing to work. And let's look up expire. The end of period of which something is valid. Wow.
My friend, this is an invention of the 21st century. This term retirement.
Yo, pause real quick too, by the way, not to cut you off. looking like defining a word is so important because it gives like actual context to that word.
Look it up.
Yeah, that's so big.
So, do you think you're ever what is retirement?
Retirement.
Yeah, read the definition.
The act of retiring or leaving one's job, career, or occupation, permanently ceasing to work.
Mm-hmm. If you love what you do, if you wake up every day and you think to yourself, what do I do to be great? How do I do better today? How do I move myself, my family? How do I move myself into a position of greatness every fucking day? As cliche as it sounds, I don't really give a shit.
Right.
How do I do this? I'm experiencing this life. How do I maximize the existence of my time?
Yeah.
How do I provide a legacy to my family? This is not a job. This is a blessing. What I do is a blessing.
And real quick, you're passionate about moving the needle because that's something I align with too. You're not passionate about t-shirts or hats necessarily.
I'm passionate about creating.
About creating.
Yeah, these are all media. These are mediums of creating.
Right.
But I want to get back to what I was saying.
That's a good point.
What I was saying was, retirement is a term used for people that are doing things that they don't want to do. And that's a very interesting term to be used. So what you're saying is a person will spend 40 years of their life doing what they don't want to do to enjoy the last 10 years of their life while their body has more or less expired.
Yeah.
And then they will expire after that.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Soon after that. Can I talk on that?
Yeah.
So people that may or may not know, like I love cars.
Yeah.
Right. And I always knew like there's a common like kind of joke going around. It's like owners of Corvettes. They're usually like older men. They got the Corvette shoes with big husky like white Nikes. Like you're just like an old man enjoying your car. There's nothing wrong with that. But me, I'm 27, bro. I have to get to the bag because my hobbies are expensive. I know I need to get to the bag as soon as possible because I don't want to be old as shit hopping in and out of exotic cars, bro. I want to be young. I want to enjoy it. I don't want to fucking retire at 65. And like now I get to have the fun cars and the fun life I want.
So do you think that you're going to retire?
That was a driving factor for me. Not from what I'm doing. Absolutely not.
So then if you're never going to retire, then your goal should be to be great every day.
That's it.
Yeah.
Move the needle every day.
Every day.
Now I did retire my job, my 9-to-5 job last month.
That's what you do.
That's one thing.
That's what you do with a job.
Exactly.
You retire a job, but you don't retire a life.
Yeah.
If you retire a life, you expire. Boom. I'm not interested in expiring.
Boom.
Not unless God calls my number.
Right.
Yeah.
Because directly after retires is expire. That's a good point.
It is a recipe for expiration.
Yeah.
I've seen people retire and they start breaking down right after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Work-life balance is not something that I subscribe to. Retirement is not something that doesn't define my life. These terms like weekends don't define my life.
Yeah. It's just another day to be great.
Yeah, these things don't define my life. Now, if you married or you're attaching yourself to a live, love, laugh, we're gonna term these people live, love, laughs. If you attach yourself to a live, love, laugh, you're gonna have a problem. If you're working on a weekend and she wants to live, love, laugh.
Right.
You're going to have a problem if he wants to live, love, laugh on a weekend. That's not somebody you have two different goals.
Right.
So I think
Two different alignments for sure.
Yeah, your value system is not right.
Right. Yeah, and I also agree, like when it comes to like work-life balance, man, like when you're getting that business off the ground, because again, like we're coming from no handouts. Like I was dead broke when I started wholesaling. So I knew like I just had to use my time, my spare time after working at 9-to-5 to make those 100 cold calls every day to get the business off the ground. So once you get some fire underneath that rocket, bro, speed is everything.
Absolutely.
Every day you gotta show up and put in that same amount of effort. Whether you close one deal, 15 deals, whatever, like you show up every single day. And there's no balance in that. Like the reality is, like it sounds good, like work-life balance, you take time off, you take the weekend off, but it's not a real thing.
So people are gonna be watching this.
Yeah.
The balance flag carriers, the work-life balance flag carriers are gonna watch this and say, that's bullshit. You gotta work every day of your life. That's not what I said. I said your goal should not be to consume life. I mean, for me, you can do whatever the hell you want. It's not
talk about that consumption.
You could do whatever you want to do. This is not I'm talking about my experience right now.
Right.
This is my life experience. I'm sharing my life experience. I'm sharing how I want to live my life. I'm not expecting anybody to do anything that they don't want to do. But if you're moving through life with an expectation that you want to consume life, that's not what my goal is.
Yeah.
My goal is not to consume life like a cigar.
Right.
For the next experience. You know, we live in experience.
Constantly paying for that next experience.
We're living in the experience generation.
Wow.
I want to experience this. I want to experience this. I want to experience this vacation. I want to experience this person. I want to experience this car. I want to experience.
Experiences are great, but too much of that, bro.
It's not the definition of my life.
Yeah.
It's not the way I want to define my life.
Right.
I want to define my life with purpose. I want to stand on purpose. What is my purpose? My purpose is to do something in this world that I'm proud of. It's not to consume life. Not you, somebody else. Their goal may be to consume life. That is fine. Mm-hmm. That's not my goal. Right. If that is your goal, you should go have fun with your goal.
Right.
But it's not my goal.
I also have a firm belief that if you, again, coming from no handouts, if you genuinely want to get a business off the ground, there's no taking days off. And that's that.
There's a time and place for everything. There's a time and place where you take your foot off the gas a little bit and you don't go full throttle.
Would you say within the first year, though? Probably not.
Man,
Being brand new, starting a business.
Go. Look, man.
Hold on, I'm sorry. Can I explain? Like, I want to put an analogy with it. It's like having a business, like having a newborn baby.
Yeah.
You can't be like, yo, baby, I can't. It's Saturday.
Yeah.
The baby needs to be changed 10 times a day, bro, and fed. Like,
Yeah.
You can't just take a day off.
Going into business is a long struggle. If your goals in life is to consume life, it's probably not a good idea for you. Yeah, that's it. So you should consider what your value is in life. What do you value in life? If you value experiences, if you value having the freedom and time to go do whatever you want to do, if you value vacations, probably this ain't it for you. Right. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a job works better because you have that structure.
Nothing wrong with that.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
But that ain't the choice for some people.
Yeah.
You can't expect to live your life in that way and then have a lifestyle that you can be proud of at some point.
Yeah.
I mean,
it ultimately comes down to being true to yourself, right? There's people that's like third position of a hierarchy of a business, right?
Yeah,
and they're on salary, bro, and there's nothing wrong with that. Exactly.
well.
They have vacations laid out. There's nothing, like you said, with the structure, right? I just knew for myself personally, like I've been in the cable design industry for about 6 years now, and I just left for the first time ever last month. So I just knew deep down, like I knew my life, it couldn't end up that way. I'm scared of living in regret. When I'm 80 something years old, God forbid I could live that long, 85 plus. I don't want to look back like, damn, like I should have left, or I should have went all in on real estate or all in business.
what's jacking people's perception up is like the social media environment right now. You got people that are like people only share share the sizzle.
It's all wins.
It's all sizzle.
Yeah.
So they're looking at people online, and you have a lot of marriages being broken up because of this. You have a lot of relationships being broken up because of it. Because they're seeing the sizzle on the gram. They're seeing people going on vacations. They're sharing the meals that they ate. Mm-hmm. They're sharing the experiences that they have. And they have what? FOMO. Mm-hmm. They're looking at it. They're like, damn, I'm not doing any of this shit. This person's the same age as me. They look like they're winning. You don't know that they're in debt. Yeah. You don't know that they don't have you don't know that they don't have the money to pay for any of this shit. That they may not.
That's never shown.
Of course it's not shown. There's no sizzle in that. Right. You know what I'm saying? Just like there's no sizzle in showing people that you grind your ass off every day. They don't want to see that. They want to see the sizzle. They want to see the car. They want to see the house. They want to see the lifestyle. They want to see all this bullshit. They don't want to see like if they knew like you have to bleed through your nose for the first few years of doing this, it would be very difficult. And most people would not sign up for that. Right. You're not going to sell a lot of courses by telling people you're going to have to bleed through your nose. I don't know. Are you?
I agree.
Phil?
No, I don't think so.
I feel like you don't have a lot of velocity with that. Like you don't have a lot of people just signing up quick. But I feel like you do get true people that will win.
A lot less people.
If you sell a lot less. But if you tell them like, yo, it's not a get rich overnight situation.
I'd probably be the worst at selling a course. I wouldn't be a good salesman for that. Yeah, because I tell them the
But
truth.
like, let's be real. Like, the truth is all that matters, bro. Because besides that, it's all deception.
To you and to me, but I'm talking about these courses that are being sold online.
That's true.
They-
What's popping?
They're using sizzle.
Yeah, what's popping?
Respect to everybody selling courses, getting their bag. Respect. It's sizzle. But you're not selling what the true people are not going to bed at night, working their ass off. I've slept on a cardboard box in this warehouse. And I've slept on a cardboard box in Wildwood before, in the store. I laid out the boxes in the office. I didn't have the furniture at the time. And I was so sick to my stomach, I just slept on boxes.
Wow.
Yeah.
What did that feel like?
Shit.
Felt like shit, right?
Felt fucking horrible. It didn't feel like Sealy's Posturepedic. It's a fucking box. Right? Like, it's a box, bro. Like,
box too with them film or what?
Yeah, a couple times in the warehouse.
yeah.
I didn't know that.
We have a futon in here that converts into a bed.
No, he got the futon because I was sleeping on cardboard boxes. He's
My man called me one day. He's like, yo, I slept on a box. I'm like, nah, fuck that. So I bought a futon. We put a futon in.
Salute to y'all, bro.
Yeah.
That's real struggle, dog.
Hell yeah.
You understand now?
Yeah.
We went through it.
Yeah.
So, to go back
And that's a real side of business, bro.
it's a real side of business.
It's a real side.
This is not the side that gets the clicks.
You don't just start a business and you just hopping in, vacation a few months after. That's fairy tale, bro. That's completely fairy tale.
It's a good way to sell courses. It's a good way to sell courses,
Yeah.
right? If you're paying $9.99 a month, $99.99 a month, and you think you're gonna make it, you'll be on vacation the first 2 months.
Ooh wee.
Good luck to you, man. Good luck to you.
Yeah. Because when you make money, it's all about keeping money and growing that business, right? I made 11 bands my first check.
Yeah.
I never made that type of money. Bro, I could have easily, a couple grand, boom, take a flight, vacation, da-da-da. No, I reinvested. I hired an assistant, my first ever employee, boom. And I went 7 months without my next deal. So I'm paying her every single week from that same 11K.
Yo, let's be clear here so everybody understands. You're using an example of you closing an 11-band deal within how many months of you doing wholesale?
It was 3 months of learning and putting the work.
That is not that is an anomaly.
Yeah, even that.
That is an anomaly. Again, if we're ever gonna sell a course,
Yeah.
I'm not the pitch man for it, bro.
understand.
Like, somebody else got to go pitch this, because I'm gonna end up telling these people the truth. They'll be like, "Fuck this, I don't want to do this anymore."
But meanwhile, you're the one actually giving that the
I'm
valuable
telling you the
information.
truth.
Though.
I'm telling you the truth.
You're actually showing what the path is of making wealth.
Absolutely,
For sure.
Absolutely. If you're prepared to put in the work, if you're prepared to bleed through the nose, I'm your guy. If you're not prepared to do that, and you think you're gonna get rich quick, I'm not your guy.
Yeah.
Because I can't fake it. I just can't.
Yeah.
And I don't have to. I get to it regardless. I don't make my money on that kind of stuff. So I don't need to do that.
Period.
So my point was that doing a deal like that within a few months is unheard of. Like, that's hard to do. That's not something that people, I understand that there are people that are telling people this. I get it. Respect. Maybe you have a secret formula I don't know about. Good for you. What I'm telling you is my experience. And in my experience, people don't walk into a situation and make 11 bands. My first assignment deal was, spectacular. Like, it was spectacular. Wasn't it spectacular? It was spectacular. Wasn't it spectacular?
It was,
Phil.
It was painfully spectacular.
It was spectacular.
Yeah.
Which one are we talking about? We talking about
Elm.
spectacular.
Yeah.
Spectacular.
Yeah. Came back off.
Whatever you think spectacular means to you,
Double it.
just know it's more. Okay?
Double it.
Like, my first assignment deal was like a home.
Damn. South Jersey.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You ever watch Power Slap?
Yeah. Shout out to Dana White, bro.
Shout out to checking that jaw. We checked that
You
jaw.
put the chalk on the hand first?
We did the chalk. I double fisted. Bam.
Damn.
Yeah, it was out.
Put him out.
I mean, it was amazing. Straight up. It was amazing. But again,
That's dope.
I can't get into, I understand that's the sizzle. So you can't go into this telling people, yo, you're going to hit a grand slam off of the first joint, that's
Just trying to
unrealistic.
figure out like expectation versus reality.
Now, let me tell you what that first assignment deal did for me.
Okay.
I fucked my whole life up.
This is after years of being in business.
Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me. The term assignment is one of the greatest terms ever created by man. Second to maybe the terms in the Abrahamic books. Okay? Let's take all the terms in the Abrahamic books and then let's take assignment right after that joint. It's a close second. You understand what I mean? So
because it's a clause in contracts that allow you to create equity.
it is
pretty much.
It is a beautiful word. God bless for that word.
Yeah.
Okay? But it will fuck your life up if you don't know how to act accordingly.
How? Torching that thing.
How will it fuck your life up? It's a good question. If you don't know how to handle the money, it will completely discombobulate your life. If you think now you're going to get quick money all the time, that's not it. If you don't know what to do with the money, it can ruin you. If you don't know how to move for the rest of your life, I was upset for 3 weeks. Ask Phil. Bro, my assignment deal was insane.
What do you mean, upset after you made the check?
Yeah.
Why were you upset?
I left there angry.
You made the money, you left angry.
Oh yeah, I made insane amount of money.
What happened?
And I left there so upset. Yo, bro, you have to understand something. I spent 20-something years building businesses.
To make X amount of money.
Yeah, it didn't feel
You
right.
knew the conversion of your effort versus what your
I
outcome
knew
is.
the amount of time that I put into this situation versus the amount of time that I put into other situations. It was just completely different.
That's such a good point.
So it upset me. If I'm keeping it real, it really made me. It didn't make me angry. It made me really. Yeah, no, it kind of did make me. I'm gonna keep it real.
Uh-huh.
It put me in a place where I had to rethink a lot of the things that I was doing. I had to reassess my life. Imagine that. Imagine you do a deal so big
After decades.
that you have to reassess your life. You have to reconfigure your life. I remember doing the deal like for weeks, and I was just like, we got to really think different. And then I remember pulling Phil into the office, and at the time, there was a lot going on. And I remember telling him, I said, we got to think different. And he was like, what the hell are you talking about, bro? He gave this look of like discontent. Fuck you talking about, bro? Think different. I'm like, the world is abundant. And we're not approaching the world from the lens of abundance. We're approaching the world from a limited mindset. We need to convert our thinking. Now, at the time, he can answer for himself. I can't speak for him, but he can answer for himself. But I can tell just by his reaction, what the fuck I'm talking about. What are you talking about, bro? We're over here shipping out boxes, doing this, doing that, What are you even saying? And I said, you have to go back and think on this. The world is abundant. We need to approach this next few phases in our lives with the mentality that the world is abundant and that we need to approach every day with that mentality.
So to be clear, like that first assignment was more than just making money.
I made money before. That's not it.
It shifted a whole different cognitive thinking.
How long have you known me?
Like a little bit, a year and a half or so.
So the common denominator with you knowing me is that there's always like, when you're speaking to me, there's always a sense of urgency.
Right. For sure.
Like time is limited.
For sure.
Right? So I operate with that mentality. I don't operate with the mentality that I have an abundant amount of time, because I don't.
That's very competitive.
But there is an abundant amount of resources in this world.
Right.
It's not limited. It's actually very abundant. And because it's abundant, if you limit your mentality, if you limit what is available to you, you approach the world from that lens, the universe reacts to that. But once you open your mind, you start saying, listen, this is an abundant world. We can do whatever we want to do with this thing. all of a sudden, that motion creates opportunities. That motion creates emotion. You understand?
Right.
What that first assignment deal did for me was, it was a pebble that became a tsunami. You understand?
Right.
It created a ripple effect. And I rippled that thing. I burned that motor. Well, as soon as I hit that, I said, okay, I kicked the door down. Now I'm bringing all my team in.
Yeah, you
You
definitely
understand?
did that.
I kicked the door down and I brought all my team in. I start using my understanding of process, using my understanding of team building process in order to do what? Assemble a team to take full advantage of it. Now, let's be clear here. We're not the biggest operation in South Jersey by any stretch. We don't pretend to be.
That first assignment, was it when I came out and met you at the warehouse for the first time?
I don't
Was it
remember.
Before or after?
I don't remember the timing. I think maybe after.
Yeah.
I think it may have been after. But I knew this. I knew then that things were going to be different and that we were going to work differently.
Yeah.
And that's what we did.
That's big, bro.
Yes.
Let's talk about like you. So you've created a successful, multiple businesses that are successful. And then right there in that one moment, making that one check, it had you thinking different and moving the business differently. Talk about like how important it is to be like, to always be changing, to adapt quickly, man, as a business owner.
That's your role as a leader.
Wow.
Your role as a leader is to create the best opportunities for your team, whether they know it or not, whether they feel they're being left out or not.
Wow.
Your role is to create opportunities despite themselves.
Okay.
You understand? And sometimes you pull them in kicking and screaming, and they thank you for it later. You get me?
The right people.
Is that something you're
the right
born?
people.
Okay. You as a leader, were you born with this, or did you cultivate it?
I have no
You
idea,
just know
bro.
what's in you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't.
That's special, bro. That's
Thank
really,
you, man.
That's really
I
special.
can't really speak on whether or not I was born with it or not. I don't know.
Yeah.
All I know is this. I value loyal people. I value loyalty. If we don't have loyalty, we don't have shit.
You know how to invest in people, bro.
And when I feel like I have a loyal person beside me, you're not going nowhere. I'm not going nowhere.
Wow.
We're going to war together every time. That's it. And that's it.
Dope.
It's tough out there, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's tough. They're out there getting, there's BBL time.
BBL Drizzy out this thing or what?
Bro, nothing's real.
Yeah.
They're nothing's real. The bodies are fake.
Yeah.
The conversations are fake.
Yeah.
The lifestyles are fake.
So the surgeries happen to improve the body, to post it on the Instagram, to get the reactions.
My friend, we're living in a time of just excessive lifestyle. It reminds me of like the 20s, man. Like the roaring 20s. Yeah, 1920. Like when I think about it, except there's surgeries now. And like the business now is like how much you can look the part.
But I kind of disagree though, because I feel like the roaring 20s was actually good. Like everyone was actually having a good time and just being true to themselves and having a good time. But right now I think like it looks good, but it's really fucked up underneath the surface.
And then you had the 30s and then there was a depression.
boom.
Yeah. So how good was
That's
it?
true.
So that was built on a deck of cards.
That's true.
So then 1920s were roaring and the 1930s were a disaster, right? So I think right now we're living in a time of so much fraud. There's physical fraud, there's moral fraud.
Yeah.
You're right? Like people are living lifestyles that are fraudulent.
Renting the chains and the Lambos in Miami
The whole thing is
to
fraudulent.
pop their shit, but
And the lifestyle is being consumed in real time. You understand?
Yeah.
It's being consumed in real time, and they're selling the lifestyle. You have fake bodies. You have fake assets. You have literally, you have fake everything.
Can we pause there for a second? Because I like to think about it from like a psychological aspect, right? So if people on Instagram, right? If the consumer on Instagram is like, yo, like her body's amazing, or like, look at his triceps and da-da-da, it looks great. In their heads, like, I should be like that. Even though it's false creation, in their head it's reality. That's why it's so dangerous, because like they're creating a false reality.
Well, you gotta think about what cuts through.
Yeah.
There's a lot of noise out there, right? So if you have a world that's very noisy, you have to have things that cut through, and those BBLs cut through,
Oh, yeah.
right? So like,
That sex appeal.
It cuts through.
Yeah.
You know, people are following that. They're following that religiously. Some of these women got millions and millions of followers. They you know, that's just what it is.
Yeah.
And it's not just the women, it's the guys, it's the women, it's the lifestyles. I think we're living in a time of excess that the world has never seen.
Yeah.
And it's like taking a fire and adding gasoline to it. And everybody's trying to outdo each other.
Yeah.
With these false lifestyles.
Cause bro, like social media is new. Like 23 years ago, 25 years ago, they were on the news like, yo, what's an email?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
this is new for human experience. So we're just now seeing the front of it.
My question is this. We have AI coming. Yes?
Yeah. Artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence is right around the corner. Right? Artificial intelligence comes through. It cuts through. And now you have a situation where robotic learning, machine learning, knows what human nature is better than human beings. How does that affect the
it
landscape?
understands how humans tick, and it
They understand what-
it exploits that.
What works?
Right.
And how does that affect?
That's crazy.
How does that affect perception and reality? And
Yeah.
how does that affect women's perception of men? How does that affect men's perception of
So
women?
from a woman's perspective, it creates like a perfect man. Like if you want a husband, he needs to check every box. He's 6'4", making at least 500 grand a year. Da 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 da. It sounds great.
Have you ever watched that show on YouTube where they pop a balloon? They pop a balloon. Like it's like you got a guy and like
Oh, that's been a recent thing.
bunch of females.
It's trendy. Yeah, I've seen that.
I watched it and I'm like, damn, this is crazy.
right?
Absolutely.
He's like, hey, I'm a technical engineer, and if they pop the balloon, it means that I don't want them. They're like, bang, 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 bang. Like, God, like, what's wrong with this guy?
People's perception of what success is in relationships is so skewed and so discombobulated that it's like, where are we going with this? You know what I'm saying? Where are we going?
What does the future hold for this?
I don't know. You know, when I was growing up, bro, you went to high school. I'm not that old, man. You know, I don't want to sound like I'm 100 years old. Back in my day, when I was growing up, you went to high school.
But there's been drastic changes over the time.
You went to high school and you had the girl in high school that was a beautiful girl in high school. You understand?
Right.
And then you had the guys in the high school, and that's who she knew. Mm-hmm. Now the girl in high school is a beautiful girl in high school, and she got a situation where she got a billionaire or a millionaire hitting her up on DM.
Crazy work.
You know what I'm saying?
That is different.
And they don't know each other, but it's all transactional.
Right. How deep do you want to get into this convo?
Go as far as you want to go, bro. There ain't no limits in this.
For sure. So, like a woman, right, on Instagram, I want to frame it in such a way. So say a man is dating a girl, right? Like to say like she's beautiful, da da da. And like, yo, like I need to sacrifice all of my time to give all the attention to my girl, which it sounds great. But women in this day and age on Instagram, like Instagram, let's be real, it's like a dating app. A woman could get 300,000 likes, bro. That's a lot of attention.
That's why
You can't outmatch that attention in person.
That's why the
necessarily.
mentality's screwed up.
Yeah, you can't outmatch. She has 300,000 people.
That's why
Like
their
every shit.
mentality's screwed up. I feel bad for people, bro.
But one thing that Instagram cannot ever provide, or any social media app, and this is kind of like old school, but I don't really care. It's how I think. You as a man, the best thing you can provide for that woman though is security. Instagram cannot provide security. If you're walking down the street with your woman, she's like a little concerned, you can provide security for her.
I think we're dealing in a time in the world where it's fast food everything. Fast food music, fast food food, fast food like relationships.
This dopamine hits.
It's a dopamine hit.
Every time.
It's
Quick.
a dopamine hit society.
Right.
And I think if you cater to that thinking, you're on the losing side if you're a man.
Repeat that for me.
If you cater to that thinking,
Okay.
you've given your power as a man to the wrong situation.
Right.
So you're attempting to play a game that you're already on the losing side of.
Yeah.
So why would you play that game? The game that you want to play is the game of you. The person that sees your value, that knows your value, they're going to come to you.
So you're talking chasing versus absorbing that energy.
I think we're living in a false. I've heard this. I can't quote it exactly, so I don't want to misquote it. But I heard the term false prophets. I think we're living in the time of the false prophets.
Wow.
And I think there's a lot of false prophets out there.
Right.
And I think if you're playing the false prophet game, you're gonna get wrapped up.
Gotcha.
And the only focus that you should have is Robinson Inc.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Me and mine.
Right.
Don't worry about all that stuff.
Right.
So it's all fake.
Right.
This Instagram shit is fake.
Right.
You can have millions of followers. You don't know how to monetize that. You can have a guy. He don't even have an Instagram account. He's a multi-millionaire.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like none of that. Social media following doesn't equate to money.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you're making millions of dollars a year. It just means you have a following. And hold on. And that following may or may not be necessarily conditioned to monetize.
What's the importance of money in life to create a good life? I'm hearing you.
Did you hear what I just said about that? That's important. That following may or may not be conditioned for you to even monetize it.
Right.
It just may be a social media following.
It's a social interaction.
But you may not have conditioned your following for monetization.
That's a good point.
You may have bought those followers and they don't spend any money with you or your brand.
Right.
So none of it means anything.
What's the importance of monetization though? Because I agree with you, but I want to lay it out there.
Okay, so real quick. Let's say you're starting a social media following. If this is a social media following in today's age is a business.
Yeah.
You agree with that or no?
For sure.
Why do you have a following if it's not something that you're going to utilize?
Well, sometimes it's for like the ego. Like people honestly just create content to get attention.
So
for
then
the ego.
So then
that's one thing.
So then you're a broke social media person.
Right. But like I'm trying to isolate like why not being broke is so important, right? Like,
why not being broke is important?
Because some people think it's cool. Like, oh well, at least I'm popular, but like
you
that's not okay.
You can't feed your family with followers.
There you go.
Followers is not a bank account number.
There you go. I agree.
Followers are numbers on a digital platform. They don't equate to dollars and cents.
Exactly.
It's not Bitcoin.
Right.
It's just followers.
We all have bills to pay.
You got to take those. Absolutely. The bank is not going to accept your payment and IG followers.
Hey, my account's negative, but look at my social media account. That's never a thing.
Nah.
You can't walk into a bank and try to say that.
Nah, that ain't a thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's a separator there.
Absolutely.
Sure.
So if you're creating a following with no end result,
right.
What is the end? I think you need to ask yourself, what is the end result of your following?
Right. I agree.
If there's no end result, then.
So now, and that's why I wanted to isolate that aspect itself. Now talk about conditioning your following to monetize, to lead into monetization. Like once you condition it in a way that it's not monetized, is there a way you can fix that? Is there always a way to fix that?
So
like that's what I'm actually curious about.
So we know people. We know people that have purchased their following.
Right.
A big following. Lot of subs.
That's a good point.
But they bought their followers into their network, or they've conditioned their followers and acquired their followers with the wrong medium in mind.
I see. So
they're just casual watchers.
Right. It's like just fluffed up.
Yeah, it's like when you look at your stories and you see everybody's like watching, but they're not double tapping, they're not you know, if you posted a shirt, say, hey, look, if you support Astro, will you go and buy it? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you have a guy like Cristiano, he puts a jersey up, he may get 5% conversion. He may get 3% conversion. I don't know. He may get 2%. I don't know what the conversion rate on his followers are. But if you're somebody else and you bought your followers because whatever, buying your followers can be you've bought things to get their attention in order to follow you, right? You're not going to have the same conversion rate as a Cristiano. Cristiano put up his YouTube account. I think he hit like how many million subs in like one day.
Don't quote me on this. I think it was between like.
Can you pull up what Cristiano Ronaldo has on YouTube? He started his YouTube account like a week ago.
I think it was like 60 million.
Bro, he got 60 million subs in like a week.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine being Mr. Beast and seeing that right now.
Well, you gotta look at influence.
He's incredibly influential.
You know, soccer is the #1 sport.
And his call to action is effective.
Sure.
His call to action is incredibly effective.
Ronaldo has 56.5 million subscribers
Bro,
as of September 4th.
He started his channel under 30 days. That's unheard of.
I didn't even know that.
It's unheard of to do that. I think he broke every record.
What did he do about his call to action? What was different?
He has an IG account with like 300 million people, bro. But there are 300 real people that follow this guy.
Yeah, people love this guy.
Like he is an actual worldwide. Like if Cristiano walked through a mall, the place would be mobbed. In the United States, outside the United States, it don't really matter where he is.
Right. So his first ever video on YouTube on his channel is 34 million views.
Crazy.
That was 2 weeks ago.
It's crazy.
That is crazy.
So
he only has 33 videos, but he has 59 million subscribers on his channel.
And he just started like less than 30 days ago.
Wow.
That's one of the most
That was 2 weeks
impressive like YouTube launches of all time.
That's a great point.
Yeah. But the point I'm making is his call to action is real.
What's his message?
Whatever his message is not relevant.
I got you.
What's relevant is that his call to action converted. So if he's getting people to go to YouTube and get them to subscribe, he can call them to go buy a shirt. He can call them to go buy sneakers. He can call them to go buy a car, to go buy a watch. He can convert his virtual following to real dollars and cents. It's not BBL. You understand what I'm saying?
That's a good point.
You know, that may be converted to OnlyFans. Yeah. You get me? They still converted. Don't get it twisted.
They making it back on it.
Yeah, but it ain't Cristiano.
Yeah. Where you don't have to sell your private parts, essentially. Right?
Absolutely. and the point that we're making is that there's real and fake IG and real and fake following and real and fake lifestyles that are being presented. You know what I'm saying?
You have like real and fake when it comes to politics, where it gets dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely. So what other topics that we want to bring up? What other topics that we want to talk on?
I'm actually curious, you, like Mohammed yourself, right? So this is my belief. So say, for instance, you go through a breakup. The reason why it's so hurtful because you're constantly reliving the good moments that you've had before. So you're constantly living in the past. Every day seems dull compared to the past, this, that, and the other. But even me as an investor, right? Like, it's important to be present. But dude, we always have closing like 4 weeks out. So I'm always like, yo, okay, we have to line this up. We have this rehab going. I'm always living in the future. What's the importance of like living in the past, present, and future to you?
Living in the past?
Right. Like, do you live more in the past? Do you live more in the present or the future, would you say?
My mind is in the future.
Always in the future, right?
Yeah.
Because you're always building for the future.
Yeah, my target is where I'm going to be.
Right.
You know what I mean?
How present are you as a person?
Man, sometimes, bro, I'll be honest with you. Sometimes I do some closings. Like, Phil will test this. We've closed on some deals, and I sit back and like 6 months later, I'm like, oh shit, we did that.
Yeah.
You know, that's how focused I am on the future.
Yeah.
That I don't even take...
You don't take time to really celebrate a bunch.
I heard this one quote. Like, I haven't smoked a cigar in like, I don't know how long. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I heard this one quote. It goes, a great boxer doesn't appreciate his nailed shots. He looks for the next shot. Stop watching. Stop. And I tell this to my team all the time. Stop celebrating your small wins.
Interesting.
Like, just stop. If you were winning the way you should be winning, you wouldn't be celebrating these bullshit ass wins.
Wow.
Celebrate the wins that fucking matter, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
What's considered small versus actual real wins?
When you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, and you land something, you get something, you want to be excited for yourself.
Right.
You wouldn't be excited for yourself if you're used to winning.
Right. I see what you mean. Because like you should condition a lifestyle of winning.
Bro, if you're used
100%.
to winning, you know who you are, why are you worried about some chump change?
Right.
Yeah, that should be like, okay, you checked off a box, move on to the next box.
Right.
Stop living for those dopamine hits. Those dopamine hits are a fallacy. They're a fallacy. Elon had an interview where they asked him, they said,
Well, can I pause you for a second? So are you like aligning it with thinking bigger? Because like if you only focus on the small wins, that means that person's not really thinking big enough. Like, yo, that's great and all, but that's not
you're
moving the needle.
You're distracting yourself and your team by what's important. You're distracting yourself because you don't want to do the work.
I got you.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
You nailed a deal.
I want you to unpack that.
I'll give you an example. I'll unpack it. You got a deal. You did a deal. You got an assignment out of it. Phenomenal. Okay?
Yeah.
Why are you doing a celebration dance if you're not closing the amount of deals that you need to be doing?
I see.
Stop.
I see.
If you're supposed to be doing 10, 20 deals a month and you're nailing one or two, you're not in a position to be celebrating shit.
Right.
Why are you
Just getting
celebrating?
started.
You're celebrating false wins. It's inauthentic.
Wow.
Honestly, you should be ashamed of yourself.
I hear
Honestly, if I'm being honest, you should be ashamed of yourself. I'm being honest.
that. Right.
If you're celebrating false wins, you're putting on a show for yourself.
Yeah.
You're not fooling anybody that knows what the fuck they're doing.
Right. Not creating something very significant.
Yeah, if you don't know your own worth, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Right. Damn. That's big, bro.
Right or wrong?
100%.
I'm not telling you to feel bad.
Yeah.
I am telling you to think better.
You should be content. Yeah. Exactly.
Yo, man, there's people out there crushing it. Yo, I look at everybody that's doing well. Shout out to everybody in South Jersey that's crushing it. Respect. I never hate on anybody. I've never looked at any of our friends, competitors, other people, and ever said, why them, not me?
Right.
I look at them like, I love what you're doing, respect to what you're doing, make room.
That's respect.
Make room.
Yeah.
I'm coming. You understand?
Right.
I'm not asking for an invite. I'm gonna
So
show up.
You're gonna create that room.
No, I'm coming. That's it.
Yeah.
But I'm not interested in. I'm not there counting their pockets, bro. I don't really care what they're doing.
For sure.
It's not. I care that I can learn from them and be better. But I don't hate.
There's no space in the heart for that, bro.
There is space in a lot of hearts for it.
There's space for it, but it's not. It taints the heart. I feel like, you know what I mean. It's that negative energy. But I kind of interrupted you, about to have a quote by Elon. I was curious to hear about it.
Somebody asked him once. They said, "How does that make you feel?" Like his rocket blew up or some shit. Like this guy's sending rockets all over the world. Bro, he's sending rockets to the world. We're over here celebrating an assignment. Shut the fuck up. Come on now.
I meant burning assignments, right?
Come on now. This man is sending rockets into space. He's reinventing. You should be ashamed of yourself. Have some shame. Feel some shame.
Shame is good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're living in a shameless society.
Exactly.
Have some shame. I remember people used to have shame. Now you tell somebody shame, they say, "What's that?"
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That means you're attacking them.
We used to be shameful. We used to have shame. Like there's things you don't do because it's society doesn't accept this.
Right.
Now there's no shame. But to bring it back, this man is bringing rockets to space. He's reinvented cars. He's reinvented social media. He's going to reinvent the distribution of income, the monetary flow of money.
For government.
I'm sure of it. He's gonna
Wow.
he's coming after PayPal and that whole
Because he sold off PayPal.
Listen to me.
Yeah.
This man is a national treasure.
For sure.
Do you understand that?
It's actually a blessing to be like living in the same time period as Elon Musk at this point.
He is our Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
He is our Albert Einstein. He don't have to die for you to say that. It don't cost you anything to give the man the respect. If you can't respect the man that's doing all that, something's wrong with you mentally.
Yeah.
You need to go check your mind. But if this man is doing all of this and you're out here doing a rain dance because you nailed one assignment, shame on you, man. Shame on you. A human being with 2 eyes, 2 legs, 2 arms can do so much.
So much.
So much.
There's nothing Like he's not an alien. He's
No.
he's not a god. Nothing. He's a regular.
He's
human.
a human being with a lot of ambition.
That's so true, bro.
Like why are we sitting here celebrating bullshit wins, bro? I don't want to talk about
That's
that.
so true. That is big.
It's such a small-minded way to think.
Yeah.
It's not what it is.
Right.
Put your time and effort into doing more. Do more. Like there's an opportunity to do
And that's
more.
how you move from small business to big business. Would you say?
And people are gonna remember Elon. People are gonna remember Jobs. People are gonna remember the greats. Nobody ever wakes up as a child and says, I don't want to be great. You're conditioned to think that you can't be great as you get older.
Wow.
When you're a child, you say, I want to be president. When you're an adult, you say, I need a paycheck. When you're growing up as a child, you think you can do anything. I want to be a child, bro.
Yeah.
I want to move through life with that vigor.
Right.
Like, you're not going to stop me from doing anything I want to do in my life, because I can. Do you understand?
That's very impactful, very powerful.
Yeah.
It's very empowering.
It's such a sick way to think. It's
to think otherwise, you're saying.
The world conditions you to think that way. You accept the programming.
Right.
You accept the conditioning. And you allow yourself to think that you can't do this, you can't do that. And when you get a small little win, you get a little piece of steak on your plate, you're like, sirloin.
That's so true.
What the fuck are you talking about? This man is sending rockets to space
Yeah.
on his off time.
He has an underground company for LA, building tunnels out. He
My
has electric
mistake.
vehicles.
Yeah, I forgot a few.
Yeah,
My apologies.
He bought out Twitter.
I forgot all the shit that he's doing. My apologies. And we over here celebrating bullshit wins because we think that we don't deserve them. This man will send a rocket to space and go back to work.
You said it just now. We don't think we deserve them. That's
Absolutely.
why we sit
It's
there.
fake.
And I'm not gonna lie, bro. Cause like I'm 2.5 years into the business, so I'm making the most amount of money I ever made. But at the same time, like I fell victim to, well, not victim, but I've been a part of that. I kind of subscribe to that. Like, oh wow, like look at this deal, my first deal, my second deal. It's great because I'm now moving in a different trajectory, but I have a lot of work ahead of me. I have a tremendous amount of work in front of me to take care of.
I think it's incredibly important. Children are a blessing for more than one reason. My daughter inspired me to get on YouTube, by the way.
Okay.
You know what I mean? She inspired me to get on YouTube because I asked her once, I said, Dad, why don't you watch, we were paying for all this cable, all these channels, like we had all this packages and all this bullshit. And we're paying for all this stuff and she's watching YouTube. And I'm like, Dad, why don't you watch those channels that we pay for? She was like, no, Dad, I want to watch YouTube. After that, I started my first YouTube
You
channel.
knew like your child being so young,
She taught me
the
something.
attention is at YouTube, man. That platform.
She taught me the attention, where the attention was.
Wow.
And I was like, I asked her, I said, what do you like to watch on YouTube? And she brought up all these, and then I looked up the channels that she's watching and the products that they're selling, top of their class toys in sales. And I was like, wow, like this is all the fundamentals of content has changed completely.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So that put me on to a lot of, like, children do that, but they have an innocence about them. They think they can do anything. It's when you become an adult that you condition yourself to think that you can't do shit.
Yeah.
And the system is designed to do that for you.
Yeah.
You got to go to school. You got to do your homework. You got to do all this. You got to, all this structure.
Show up on time, Monday through Friday.
Yeah, and some people are so fucked up, they like it.
Yeah.
They need it.
Yeah. Listen, I was a great student, bro.
Yeah.
Showed up every time, every
I was
morning.
a shit student.
Bro,
I was the fucking worst student ever.
I did everything I had to do, bro. I showed up on time. I got good grades. I went to college. I followed the path, bro. And
Yeah.
it was like, nah. Then I learned the hard way.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just a scam.
There are people doing interesting things within companies. Don't get me wrong. What I'm trying to say is there are people doing amazing things. Why would you want to live this once in a lifetime experience of being born? You've been gifted 1 out of trillions.
Yeah.
Do you know what the chances of you being alive is?
It's lower chances of hitting the lottery. I know that.
Look up what is the actual chance of being alive?
100 trillion to one.
You hit the fucking genetic lottery. And you over here brain dancing. Do you understand that? There's something wrong.
This number is so big, like it's scientific. It's 10 to the 2,685 million squared.
So that is the chance of you being born.
Right.
You hit the genetic lottery by being alive. Now,
no, real quick, bro.
let me finish.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now that you're alive, you over here dancing. You're over here celebrating. What? Minuscule wins.
No,
And there
fuck
are
that.
people in this world today that are boring tunnels, sending rockets, doing electric car. If that shit don't make you self-reflect, you have a brain damage.
I like that perspective.
You have to go check your brain. Something's not right.
What do you say to the people like, well, I grew up in a single parent household, or I grew up with this? Because everyone's starting line is different, that's for sure. But what do you say to that?
So what?
Right.
So what?
Right.
Sound like excuses.
Mm-hmm.
So what? You what? What is it? What's the excuse?
Right.
What is
Like,
it?
hey, I grew up in a single parent household,
So
or my mom was on drugs. at
Steve
an
Jobs
early
didn't
age.
have parents.
Right.
He was given up for adoption. His biological parents did not want him. They told him, "I don't want you." Could you imagine a shittier deck of cards? To imagine growing up as a child and being given away.
Unwanted
Imagine
by
how
your
he
parents.
felt.
Pretty bad.
There's kids that are living in households right now that are, they have adopted parents and they're amazing. But what I'm saying to you is imagine how that kid feels.
Right.
They've been given away.
Yeah.
They know that they've been given away. They know.
Yeah, kids know.
It doesn't go away.
Yeah.
This fucker changed the way that we communicate. He changed the way we communicate. He changed the way we
Bro,
compute.
they're still dropping iPhones to this day. He
Bro,
passed away.
This man is a cultural icon. Why would you want to go through this experience celebrating bullshit? Live, love, laugh. These people are doing things with their lives.
Yeah.
They're creating. They're moving the culture forward. They're moving the world forward. There's technological advancements. These people are doing real things. These are the people that thank God for social media. I get to meet my friends on YouTube. I told my wife the other day, that's the best thing that ever happened to me. Because I have friendships with people I've never met.
Yeah.
Because I share my mentality. I share common thought with these people. And I get to listen to them. And I know I'm not the odd one out
That's true.
in every scenario. Just think about that.
That's very powerful.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, like I'm always thinking like, man, like what if people don't think the way I do?
Who gives a shit?
I should be more like that.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Who told you you're supposed to think like the way they do?
Yeah. Who told me I was supposed to be boxing myself in?
Who told you that's the answer?
Yeah.
Who cares? They don't think the way you do? Wear it as a badge of honor.
I like that.
Like why would
That's
you
good.
why would you want to think like is the vast majority of people doing what you want to do?
No.
So what the fuck would you
Not
want
at
to think
all.
like them?
That's respect.
You know what I mean?
100%.
People don't like people. There's people that are not gonna like this.
Yeah.
They're not gonna like what
what we're talking about.
Yeah, they're not gonna. They're gonna do the same thing that the arrogance.
Talk about arrogance, bro.
It's the original sin.
Yeah.
I feel all sin comes from arrogance. I feel arrogance is the mother and the father of all sin.
Wow.
Yeah, if you think about the Abrahamic religions.
Since we're real quick, because we're diving into this word, let's define it real quick. The definition of arrogance. Give me that typical, the quality of being arrogant. I need more than that, bro. What does it mean to be arrogant? Exaggerating or disposed to exaggerate one's own worth or importance, often by an overbearing manner.
Okay, let's take it back to what I was originally saying.
Yeah, this kind of diluted that.
What is the original sin?
Arrogance.
Why?
It's a good question.
It's a very good question.
I don't
Why?
know.
What did the devil get cast? If we're talking about the Abrahamic religions, what did the devil get removed from heaven for? Lust, gluttony,
It was arrogance.
It was arrogance. He refused to prostrate. Yes or no?
You know more about this than I do.
But this is the way the story goes.
Right.
He refused to prostrate. Arrogance cast the most beautiful angel in heaven, out of heaven, and out of God's favor. So if that was the first sin, then it is safe to say it is the original sin.
And real quick, for context, like Satan was, to this day, is the most beautiful angel.
What I don't know if is. I know it was.
It was.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And by the way, I'm not the religious expert here. You know what I'm
But
saying?
you're very.
I just know what I know what I've been taught.
You know quite a bit though, for sure.
I know what I've been taught. So
Right.
in terms of what original sin is, it is arrogance. And if you think about it, I think all other sins come from arrogance.
Okay. So it's like the baseline foundation.
Yeah, how arrogant are you to take something that's not yours from someone, to deprive somebody of something that's not yours?
Great example.
How arrogant are you to think that you can do that to them? How arrogant are you to do that to them? How arrogant are you to deprive somebody of the truth?
So that's a great one.
How arrogant are you to lie to somebody? To think that you can deprive them, that you are smarter than they are, that you are more capable of, that you are more deserving of the truth than they are.
Wow.
It's arrogance. Right?
Yeah.
How arrogant are you? And by the way, I'm not I'm just making a statement.
Right.
How arrogant are you to use some other person for physical gain or physical pleasure?
Financial gain, physical pleasure, all that.
All of it.
It traces back every time.
So if you're committing a sin, I think you can relate it back to arrogance.
How do you remain pure from arrogance as a person?
I don't know. I can't.
I think you do a great job. I think we all do.
Bro, I don't think anybody does a great job. I think it's hard.
Okay, because we're not perfect.
Nobody's
humans.
perfect, bro. It's hard. There's a lot. It's easily susceptible to be arrogant. It's easily susceptible.
But you're humble enough to understand that, though.
I'm aware of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not gonna pretend that I'm not. I think it's scary if you're not. I think you need to be aware that that's a human trait.
You're right.
That it exists. So if you don't move with a certain level of fear, one of my favorite brands because of the name is Fear of God.
Yeah.
You know, I love brands because I'm in the brand business.
Yeah.
So I thought that was an amazing name. He's got a religious background, and he made the name of the company Fear of God. I think you should have a healthy fear of God.
Yeah.
And I'm scared when somebody does it.
Doesn't, right?
Yeah.
Right.
If you don't have a healthy fear of God, what makes you think you're gonna do the right thing by me, or what makes me think I'm gonna do what is the common denominating moral?
Yeah.
Like what's the common denominator there? What do we share as a no-go situation?
Right. Right. 100%.
We don't.
I think most of my younger life, I had like more of an atheistic view, which looking back, like I could see that. Because I remember thinking, like, I always believed in a higher power, but I was like, fearing God, like, why are we fearing anything? But after 2019, I had like a very dark moment for me. God's been with me. I knew he's always been with me. I didn't know he had such an impact in my day-to-day life. So I do believe, and it's my viewpoint, that you should please God. You should show up every day, do what you have to do, not, scam people, lie to people.
You should have a healthy fear of God.
Like a father, bro.
Yeah. If you don't have a healthy fear of God, don't tell me you're gonna make good decisions. Everybody's susceptible to the devil in their head.
Yeah.
There's no perfect person in this world. So everybody's susceptible to making mistakes. And without a healthy fear of God, I think you're more susceptible than less. I think that's how I feel about that.
Yeah.
For those of us that don't believe in anything, don't have a fear of anything.
You know something interesting? I saw a video of I agree with that too. I saw a video of Mike Tyson and Francis Ngannou,
Yeah.
the fighter. He's like, yo, you see how you knock people out with one hit? He's like, yeah, I do. He's like you're favored by God, right? He's like, okay. He said, but because you're favored by God, you're also favored by the devil. So understand that. I thought it was very interesting.
But you have a power.
I have to send you that clip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like you're blessed by God, but you're also in the eyes of the devil to try to deceive you, throw you off your path, and all that.
You know what?
Sure.
You know what's crazy? Like we're moving in such a crazy way in life, and this podcast ended up being an epic. It's not just a podcast at this point. We're moving in such a crazy way in this world right now that it's almost insane to not want to have some kind of superior being in your, like a creator in your life to guide you.
Yeah.
Like imagine waking up, imagine getting into a car accident and saying, "Oh, nothing, help me."
That don't make sense.
Imagine getting into a car accident, totaling your car, right? What's the first thing that you would think? Oh my God,
Yeah.
what just happened? Would you say, "Oh my nothing"?
Not at all.
I know I wouldn't.
Yeah, same here.
You know what I'm saying? I know I'm getting into a car accident. I'm saying, "God help me."
Yeah,
There's relief in that.
for sure. There's comfort in that.
There's
bro.
comfort in that,
knowing
bro.
that God's with you, bro.
Yeah.
He's only gonna give you what you can handle.
Imagine the arrogance,
Yeah, so true.
you know?
Bro, we had Miami's reported in the news in Miami just 6 months ago, and that news just went by so quick. Like, there's so much crazy stuff going on in the world, 2024 right now. How do we ever make sense of this stuff? Like, how do we stay sane if there's nothing more to life than this? Does that make sense? You know what I mean?
A degradation of morality
Yeah,
requires more God, not
Yeah.
less.
I agree.
And I don't think the list that we made about these things is not a degradation of reality, of morality.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I feel like there's more moral issues in the world today that are visible and they're more accessible than there ever was. Yeah.
I agree.
So
Great
we should.
perception.
Yeah. Thank you, man. So we should cap it off with that because we could keep going
Yeah.
for days. Any last words?
Nah, that's it, man.
Yeah.
That's it for me.
Thank you guys for watching. This is another episode of HustleMan Show. This is the real estate side of things. This is the investment side of things. Thank you for watching. If you want to follow, you can follow KR Direct
LLC on Instagram.
on IG. You can follow me at Broader Market Home on Instagram. Leave us a comment. If you like what we're doing, give us a thumbs up. If you like what we're doing, subscribe. That really helps the algorithm.
If you don't like what we're doing, just drop a dislike, bro.
Tell us what you don't like.
Let's be honest.
Yeah. If you don't like what we're saying, I want to know what part of it.
Yeah.
I want to have somebody to argue with late at night. So let's argue about it. Right? Thank you guys for watching.
Thank you, Phil, behind the camera, man, setting this all
Definitely,
up,
bro. Definitely.
Huge help. So
Thank you guys for watching.
salute.
Thank you.